Now, a bit of background about our first speaker. He's been working in the information technology for over 15 years, and he's been a cybersecurity practitioner in both the commercial and public sectors, contextualizing and implementing effective cybersecurity risk management procedures as well as technical controls. So please help me warmly welcome on stage our Senior IT Manager from Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore, Mr. Lionel Chew. Lionel, good morning. The stage is yours.
Morning. Thank you, Carissa, for the introduction. Once again, my name is Lionel, and I am happy to share on Singapore's maritime sector cyber risk management. Before diving into the technicalities, please allow me to summarize the mission objectives undertaken by the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore. The first is to build a competitive global hub port by ensuring smooth and efficient operations and maintaining a quality flag and port state. Next, MPA promotes and develops Singapore's position as an international maritime center through encouraging the local setup of key shipping activities and maritime ancillary services. And finally, MPA ensures continued safe and open access to and from the Port of Singapore through active participation at international platforms. Achieving Singapore's maritime aspirations require deliberate efforts in planning and investment. Technology plays a key role, which in our view can be categorized into these 5 types of systems. This provides us with a landscape in which we can assess the threats to our ecosystem and address the cyber risks posed towards our efforts. While there is no intelligence that the maritime sector in this region is being targeted at this time, the global maritime domain has had its share of cyber incidents over the last decade, with an escalating frequency of occurrence. Naval Dome reported that February to May 2020 alone saw a 4-fold increase in cyber attacks, highlighting the importance of good cyber risk management, a view which I believe is shared by many in this hall. Therefore, in recognizing that there is no one-size-fits-all to addressing cyber risks in the maritime sector, we must undertake a pragmatic approach towards balancing cybersecurity requirements, efficiency, and costs, which in our view can be achieved through these 4 key areas. First, in the area of governance, the Singapore National Cybersecurity Strategy sets out Singapore's vision, goals, and priorities for cybersecurity. Comprising of 3 strategic pillars, the strategy aims to engender coordinated action and facilitate international partnerships for a resilient and trusted cyber environment. In particular, towards building a resilient infrastructure, the Cybersecurity Act was enacted to strengthen the protection of critical information infrastructure, of which maritime is one of the 11 identified critical sectors. Given the prevalence of cyber incidents and their profound impact to business, organizations should no longer view cybersecurity as a technical IT risk, but a strategic business risk. Hence, it is important for management to recognize and put in place a robust cybersecurity management program. This program should be aimed towards reducing cyber risks through minimizing the impact of cyber incidents, and thus work towards garnering management support for a proactive stance towards cybersecurity risks. It involves developing a set of strategies to address the key security domains and adopting a structured cybersecurity framework to institute processes and implement the strategies. Not to forget allocating the appropriate budgets to protect critical assets and data, as well as to meet relevant regulatory policies and industry standards. In view of the transboundary nature of maritime business, Singapore adopts international standards and guidelines on cybersecurity, including those from the IMO and EU cybersecurity regulations. To that end, MPA supported the research conducted by the Singapore University of Technology and Design in developing a set of cyber risk management guidelines that can be used by IT and OT specialists to assess and enhance the cyber readiness of vessels. With this, the Singapore Registry of Ships Cyber Notation was introduced to award, with the SUTD guidelines as the assessment criteria, vessels that adopt measures to protect their key shipboard systems from cyber attacks. The second key area of training and education, we focus on awareness and industry engagement. In collaboration with the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, MPA ran a series of EDMs to put forth the key messages of cyber and data security. In addition to regular internal phishing exercises, we conducted workshops for MPA officers and the industry to drive awareness and maintain vigilance. For the industry, MPA partnered with the Institutes of Higher Learning to develop customized courses for equipping industry personnel with basic cybersecurity skill sets. Sector-wide tabletop exercises are also conducted regularly to validate incident management capabilities in responding to and recovering from cyber and data-related incidents. The third key area is around information sharing. We are moving towards deeper digital connectivity, and we cannot safeguard our networks and systems alone. It is important for the community to come together to share information that will enhance our preparedness, especially against coordinated attacks that may be directed at the maritime industry. In our view, the time gaps in cyber incident response can be bridged by community through collaborative efforts in the areas with common interests, such as the exchange of actionable information to influence a cybersecurity posture, the continued sharing and updates to cybersecurity best practices, and validation practices of our preparedness in the management of incidents. Towards this effort, MPA's Chief Information Officer leads the Port Authority's CIO Cybersecurity Network. This initiative brings together a community of like-minded port authorities to build linkages and establish a protocol for exchanging cyber information to respond as a collective to potential and active cyber threats. There are currently 11 PACNet members from North America, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia. MPA was also invited by the International Association of Ports and Harbors to develop the first cybersecurity guidelines for ports and port facilities, together with other port authorities and the World Bank. The guidelines launched in 2021, and MPA continues to be part of the group to maintain and update this publication. The final key area involves practicing incident response procedures, starting with an incident management framework with playbooks that cover the various cyber threats, public communication plans, incident reporting structures, and timelines. These plans should then be tested through exercise to validate and improve on preparedness. The resiliency of the organization can concurrently be strengthened by ensuring that business continuity plans are in place to mitigate disruptions and ensure that business can continue to operate. And finally is the regular conduct of risk assessments to continually assess these preparations against the evolving cyber threats. In conclusion, prepare now. With digitalization, cyber risks can no longer be completely avoided. There is no silver bullet, and effort is required to identify the right solution for your business case. Management support determines how cyber resilient a business is. Communicate to earn their understanding and support. Time is of the essence in incident response, so plan and practice your response procedures. And lastly, Collaboration can make the difference in preventing an incident or how well it is managed. Right. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chu, for that opening presentation.